The crazy thing is, again, 20 years. I started off as a salesperson, then went to a business owner, doing what we've been doing, been in this. My whole professional career, for the most part, has been under the Sandler umbrella. So it's going to sound pretty weird to tell you that training doesn't work. It's bizarre. The reason it doesn't work is because people must change what they do, how they do it, and/or their mindset to have stickiness. So what I'm going to do is walk through some filters on how we can identify and/or take a look at what we can do to either assist some of you in the room on becoming better at what you do and becoming closer to what you would consider your ideal self, and/or help you uncover gaps and areas for improvement for those people that maybe you're here for or with or coworkers. So most of the stuff I'm going to slide through, I hope that most of you have seen in the past. I'm a very hardcore traditional Sandler person. I listen to all the archives of David Sandler. I am a die-hard, no guts, no gain individual. I think that's probably one of the best products that Sandler has put out. I love that process. So I'm anticipating that most of you know Sandler. So I'm going to blow and go and get through some stuff that I'm anticipating most of you know. For instance, the success triangle. So let's go through some of these filters pretty quick. I think this is by far the absolute golden goose when it comes to identifying issues in people. You can't get any more simplistic than this success triangle. It is three different areas for success. And you have to remember, success is whatever you deem it. In the middle of it is your success. To be successful, if we look at the bottom right, success means you have to have strategies and tactics on how to be number one or be whatever you want to be within your marketplace. You've got to have technique. But with that, you got to have a vision, you got to have goals, you got to have an understanding of where and how you're going to get there. That's behavior. But you also got to have toughness. You're going to be taking this journey. I mean, I love what Tom talked about. I'm not sure I wouldn't be one of those guys in the taxi going home. So while you're on this journey, it ain't going to be easy. So you have to have toughness, fortitude, being willing to risk, being ready to fail, so that you understand in the success triangle, attitude drives your behavior. Behavior only allows you to use your strategies and tactics. So when we look at the success triangle, it's a great area to find out, hey, is it a technique problem? Because everyone in the room will come to people like us saying, we need to get better in this. The reality is, are you in the field enough to get better at that, even if we teach you how to do it? And by the way, what's wrong in your noodle that's holding you back from doing it? We typically work on the wrong end of the problem. So we look at the next one, is the adult learning module. And Bill talked about this yesterday. It's 4 stages. It's creating awareness. Awareness is, why are we doing this? And do I buy into it? If you don't have awareness, you're done. With that is knowledge. Product knowledge, sales knowledge, prospecting, qualifying, knowledge. How to, when to, what to. Then you got application. If you take knowledge and you apply it correctly over time, you will develop a skill set. The problem is application. That's where the big issue is. It's not knowledge. It's not, am I doing the right stuff at the right time? It's actually applying what you've learned. And that is what I consider a tipping point. So most of what we're going to talk about today is, or the rest of what we're going to talk about, is application. So when we look at it, the biggest issue I find with people when it comes to application is their tolerance of risk. Anytime that you try something new, I don't care if what you've done has worked, you're trying something new, you're trying out something outside your comfort zone, there's a risk involved in it. The risk is it may not work. The risk may be that it did work, but I have to risk internal stuff. My question is, are you in a position of willing and able to risk? Get outside your comfort zone. So if we risk, we have to look at our decision making and how we make decisions in the heat of the battle. And it shocks me that we spend so much time and energy trying to focus in and solve outcomes and results. When outcomes and results, that's the after effect. So why are we spending time and energy fixing or dealing with outcomes and results when it's our decisions that create them? It's poor decision making that creates it. Look, you may want to write this down in your notes. I was going to talk about it later, but it fits right here if you are taking notes. These are the 2 fundamental, absolute fundamental rules when it comes to sales. The first one is, every problem that you have when it comes to selling occurs for one of 2 reasons. Here they are. One of 2 reasons. Every problem that you have. The first is either you did or you said something you were not supposed to. Go ahead, write it down. Either I did or I said something I was not supposed to. The other reason that all your sales problems happen is you didn't say or you didn't do something you were supposed to. That's it. No more, no less. Let's not make it complicated. So if we do something or we didn't do something, that's the result. Therefore, that comes the outcome. If you don't ask the right pain questions, the results are you're going to get to think it over. If you're going to think it over, next thing you know, your outcome is you're not building the business, you're not making money. Why are we complaining about the think it overs when it's the decisions that we made that got us there? So when we look at decision making, we have to say to ourselves, man, that's tough stuff to fix. So we got to get gutsy. We got to have some goals. We got to have purpose. We got to have a tipping point. So when we're in the heat of the battle, I got that little push. So when we look at goals, we look at the behavioral plan or the goals plan. Again, you've seen this. This is the bottom right, left-hand corner of the success triangle. We have attitude, behavior, and technique. And to create goals, we go north to south. A goals plan. You create your goals, you have your plan, and then you do your action steps. But to accomplish your goals, you got to go north. You got to walk the ladder. You got to do the action steps, follow your plan to get to your goals.